Hi everybody. So today I'm going to do a review of the Life Application Study Bible. This one is the 3rd edition. It is today's #1 selling study Bible. This one is going to be in the NIV, and it is the berry leather-like, so an imitation leather. Comes in a nice 2-piece box. There's an example of the interior. One thing you can see is we do have a second color in there now, which that I like. Here are the features, which we'll see on the inside, but I do want to point out just a few of them. So we're going to have more than 10,000 life application notes, over 100 personality profiles of key Bible people, more than 500 maps and charts. The second color, which I do really like that. Cross-reference system, concordance, smyson binding. So a lot of really good features on this one. Here is our Isbn number. This one does retail for $74.99. You can find it for less online, and I will put a link in the description box. This particular one measures out at 9.5 inches tall by 7 inches wide, and it is 2 inches thick. So we do have gilded page edges. They are more of a satin finish, so if you're familiar with that type of gilding versus the shiny gilding, so I don't mind it either way for me. Then on the front, we've got Life Application Study Bible with kind of like a leaves design in gold. So this is the berry leather-like, so an imitation leather. It is perimeter stitched all the way around the perimeter, so it does give it a good grip. On the spine, we've got Tyndale, Life Application Study Bible, and NIV. So we're going to have a vinyl paste-down liner. We've got a presentation page. We've got family tree pages for both husband and wife. Then a special memories page. And then we will get into our title pages. So we can see right away that we've got the second color. One other thing we see is right here it is laying totally flat, and we're not even into the biblical text. So this one does come in a variety of different cover options. So if you would like to take a screenshot of that, those are the different covers. We'll have our contents page, list of all the books of the Bible, alphabetical list, the cross-reference system, and abbreviations of the books. We'll have a preface to the NIV, and then we'll get into why the Life Application Study Bible is unique. So if you get one, you definitely want to take the time to spend in these beginning pages, because it's going to teach you how to apply the Bible to your everyday life. One thing I really like in these Bibles is the chronology of Bible events and the world events. So across the top on here is going to be all of the biblical events, and then all the world events down on the bottom. And these are really neat pages. It's going to span several pages. We've also got on the top here information on what is application. And then it gives you the different features within the Bible. So you definitely want to take the time to spend in these front pages, and these timelines here are really fascinating. So again, we can see that we do have the second color. This one is kind of like a berry color that goes with the cover. If you don't like that color, I will also be reviewing the NLT, and this one will have green on the interior. So there are different options. So just keep that in mind. So now we get into Genesis. We're going to have a full book introduction. It'll give us the author and dates, key verses. We've got a nice timeline across the bottom. It'll give us a blueprint, mega themes. It'll give us a nice map of all the key places, and then we get into the biblical text. So on the biblical text, we can see that we do have a single column layout. So we've got single column. All of the references are going to be on the inside column, which I prefer it that way, because then you don't have the biblical text falling down in the gutter. So I do like the way that they did that. We do have that other color in there. So it is nice to have a second color rather than just black and white. So on our biblical text, the font on the biblical text is going to be an 8.5. And then down here in our notes, the notes are going to be a 7-point font. So it is kind of hard to show you up close with it being a single column, but decent size on the font. It is very easy to read. I like having the different colors because then it does clearly separate the biblical text from all the information down below. So all of your references will always be on that interior side. So I do really like that. So we're going to flip through and see some of these features in here. Again, there's a ton of them, way too many to show. So here we've got a chart on the names of God. So again, over 100 profiles, more than 500 maps and charts. So just tons of stuff in this one. And the thousands of notes in this one were updated. So 30 to 40% new material is in this one versus the old one. So this is a chart on the harmony of the books of Kings and Chronicles. So this is kind of neat because you've got the two different, so you got the kingdom of Israel as well as Judah. So I think that is pretty interesting. Then as well as the updated notes, there's over 20 new personality profiles and charts. So a lot of different stuff than the older versions. So we've got a 2-page spread on who were these prophets. And I really just like the fact that they added another color rather than just black and white. Because one of my favorite Bibles is their chronological full color life application study Bible. And I wish they would do it in just a regular non-chronological one because that one is just awesome. So we've got a nice chart on Psalms in the New Testament. So here is how the Psalms are going to look. So the Psalms are going to be in a verse by verse. This one is not line matched, so there is going to be some ghosting. The paper does have a nice feel to it. I don't have any troubles, turning the pages or anything. So there's another map. Then we will get to our ribbon. So we just have one ribbon. It is a double-sided satin, but it is a thinner ribbon. So I would really like to see them start using wider ribbons and putting more of them in a study Bible, like at least give us 3. So we are going to have information in between the testaments. So it's going to go over the different periods. Like here we've got the Persian, Hellenistic, Maccabean, and Roman periods. Then we get into the New Testament. But I do really like that it's no longer just black and white, because that was one thing that kept me from reading the Life Application Study Bibles. Was just I get so spoiled with full color study Bibles that it's hard to look at one that's just black and white. So we get into our introduction to Matthew. Again, we'll have a nice map, show us where these things took place. We'll have lots of the personality profiles. Looks like there's probably another map on the other side of that page, another small one. So tons of maps. So again, more than 500 maps and charts. So lots of useful information. This is a great study Bible to give to new believers as well. So we've got a 2-page spread on the 12 disciples. So it'll give the occupation, their outstanding characteristics, major life events, what Jesus said about him. It'll give some selected references. So that's pretty neat. Then when we get to the end of the Gospels, we're going to have 250 events in the life of Christ. So we'll have the harmony of the Gospels. I like the way that it's in the 2 colors because it makes it a lot easier on your eyes. Then we're going to have the parables of Jesus, the miracles, and then the messianic prophecies and fulfillments. Then we get into our introduction for Acts. We're going to have a 2-page spread of Paul's missionary journeys. We've got 3 distortions of Christianity, so I found that chart pretty interesting. So lots of helpful stuff in here. A lot of people might find the notes kind of basic, but it's just a great Bible to give to new believers. I give out a lot of these types of Bibles to new Christians, and they find it a lot less overwhelming than other study Bibles. So we're going to have our table of weights and measures, a Christian worker's resource on how to become a Christian. So these pages are going to be really nice. It'll give you different resources as far as you respond with belief in Christ to different questions. So, like what is sin, who has sin. So good information in those pages, how to follow up with a new believer. So good information there. And we're going to have a 365-day reading plan. We've got abbreviations in the Master Index. Then we've got the Master Index, which this is pretty big. There's 103 pages on there, so a lot of information. We'll have the index to the charts, an index to the maps. So these are really helpful if you're looking for something particular. Then we've got our dictionary concordance, which is going to be a 3-column layout, so the words will be done in bold. So nice and easy to see. The concordance is going to be 78 pages. Then we get to the back of the concordance. We're going to have a few pages of blank Bible paper that you can take some notes on. Then we're going to get into our maps. So we're going to have 14 full color maps. They are on a glossy paper, as you can see there. So not only do we have these 14 in the back, but within the maps and charts in the text, we've got more than 500 of them, so lots of them. So here in the gutter, we can see the stitching, so some evidence of our sewn binding. So the binding is going to hold up for you. So I like that they're doing more sewn bindings. They used to do a lot of glued, so I would like to see them redo some of their Bibles with sewn bindings, like the NLT Illustrated Study Bible. That one would be a great one. So again, this one is in the berry leather-like. So they do have the different cover options, but great Bible. So really good for new believers. A lot of helpful information in it. So again, this one is going to be the Life Application Study Bible, the 3rd edition. This one is in the NIV. So I'll put a link to this one in the description box, but I will also put a link to one of the ones in the NLT. So if you prefer the NLT and you want that green on the interior versus kind of this berry color, I'll stick one of those in the description box as well. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.